Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So guys, there's a new concealer on the block and of course your girl had to check it out. I've had to test it for a few days, play around with it, and of course finally let you know what I think of it. It is the new Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. This is it right here. You guys know I am concealer obsessed. Probably could crown myself concealer queen. Could we? Possibly. My Desert Island product is a concealer, so of course I'm concealer crazy. So in my humble opinion, I think I can really tell the good ones apart from the bad ones. I'm going to tell you all about this one. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. First of all, price. It is priced at £23. Of course, it's a little bit more on the pricey high-end side. So for £23, I believe you're getting 10 mils of product. On the Cult Beauty website, it says 10 mil, and on here there's like a little teeny thing on the back right here, and that says 12M, so I don't actually know what that means, but let's just go with what it says on Cult Beauty and stick with 10 mil. So I feel like 10 mil is a decent amount of product, to be fair. I've looked at some of my other concealers and I would definitely say that Huda Beauty's one has got quite a bit of product in it, so I'm not mad at how much product you're getting for the price. I think it's fairly decent. And then in terms of packaging and how it looks, it just comes in a really nice easy squeezy tube, as you can see. And then what is spectacular about it is this really lovely tip. And to be honest, you don't normally see a concealer that's got this tip on there. This usually comes with like eye creams and stuff like that. It's a nice little extra thing to have, especially when you're paying that much for a concealer. You can see she's not just been like, oh, here's the product. A bit more thought has gone into it, and you know, the application and the whole experience of the concealer, you know. I like. So this concealer has come out in 20 shades, which I think is such a good shade range for concealers. Normally when it comes to concealers, it kind of, the whole shade range sometimes is looked over, and like the shade range just isn't as big as a foundation shade range. But I really love that there's so many shades of this concealer. So 20 shades of this, obviously light, medium and dark, all covered in that. So I currently am using the shade Granola, which is 18N, and I believe the N stands for neutral. There's also G for golden, and there's R, I believe, for red. I've gone for a neutral concealer just because I want to cover up my dark circles underneath my eyes, and I feel like if I go for something too golden, it might not have the peachiness that I want in it to correct the dark circles. So that's why I've chosen a neutral concealer. But I must say there is a really good range of medium shades of this concealer. So there are probably a couple of these concealer shades that I could get away with, but Granola for me, especially for underneath my eyes, as you can see right now, it works perfectly well for me. So this concealer claims to be a high coverage, creamy concealer, and I'm just gonna say what it says on Cult Beauty. It says that Huda wanted a product that would hide dark circles, spots, hyperpigmentation, redness. They packed the concealer with as much pigment as they could. It's got light reflecting spheres, soft blemish blurring effect. It gives you a subtle luminous matte finish. It doesn't settle into fine lines, cake or crease. No flashback. Whew! It's water resistant. It's got a transfer free finish. Whew! What does this concealer not do or claim not to do? I'm just going to talk you through a few of some of those points. So in terms of it being high coverage, yes, this concealer has got so much pigment in there. It's actually ridiculous in the best way possible. And because it's so highly pigmented, it means you only require a small amount of this product. Therefore, it's going to last you a lot longer. So your £23 is going to go a lot longer, you know? I actually feel like the first couple times I've used this, I've used it the way I use my other concealers, which is to whack it on right under their eyes and, you know, get it all under there and do the whole upside down V thing. But I honestly feel like that is too much concealer. You need to use way less of this because it is so full coverage. It's also so creamy as well that it just spreads out really nicely and blends beautifully. Concealer just moves and spreads really well, and you don't lose any of that high coverage kind of pigmentation in the concealer when you do blend it out. So just bear in mind when you are using this concealer to maybe go in with a little less than you normally would do. In terms of this concealer giving you that kind of soft blurred effect under your eyes or anywhere where you apply this, I have to agree. I honestly feel like this gives you the most flawless under eye area. Even when you put it around other parts of your face, it's just a really nice addition to your makeup. Like, it just gives you an extra kind of flawless look. I think I even prefer this concealer over the Huda Beauty foundation. Like, the foundation is good and I'm currently wearing it right now, and you know, it makes you look flawless and all of that, but the concealer makes you look like you've literally, this is what is giving you that Instagram filter in real life. Like, it really, really is. Honestly, once it's all blended out, it just looks so smooth and not dry and not cakey whatsoever. And what is most exciting about this, and I noticed this the first time I used it and I was like, what the hell? What's going on? What's going on? Is that this doesn't crease. It might crease eventually, but normally when I put my concealer on, I am racing to put my powder on underneath my eyes to set it so that my concealer doesn't crease in those lines over here. But with this concealer, I put it on, even if I've used too much and loads and I've blended it out, I can just leave it and it will not crease for a long time. And I'm not like, oh my God, get powder on, get powder on. Of course, I do still set it with powder, but I'm not in a rush to. And in fact, speaking of powder, I don't even need to use that much. I can get away with using a lot less powder, not doing a really, really heavy bake or anything like that, because the concealer is so full coverage. It's got really good staying power. It stays put all day. It really, really does. It does not budge. It doesn't look any different to how you applied it in the morning. And yeah, you don't need to do a crazy bake with it. If you didn't powder this concealer, eventually at some point it is going to crease. It's only natural and normal for something to sit into fine lines and things like that. In terms of how this concealer finishes, it's kind of got like a soft velvet matte finish to it. So eventually it's going to kind of dry down and have a matte finish, but not like super dry, not super cakey, not like matte. It's just like a velvet satin-like matte, if that makes sense. And that for me is like the best kind of matte. I like it when it looks like skin, but powdered skin. You know, not too oily, but not too matte. One thing to bear in mind with this concealer though, and I wouldn't say that this is like really a huge negative, it's just something to bear in mind, is that it does oxidize slightly. It doesn't oxidize crazily. Like, remember when the foundation came out and everyone was struggling with finding their shade because this foundation oxidized like crazy? But the concealer, it's not like that. It just oxidizes slightly, like really, really slightly, and it doesn't really interfere too much with your makeup. So just bear that in mind when you are looking for your shade. Oh, and the other thing, maybe this is probably the only downfall, is that it's got a slight smell to it. Again, it smells like the foundation and it smells like the powder, but it's not as strong. The strongest smell 100% comes from the foundation. Perfume smell is really intense, but in the concealer, it's not as strong, but it is definitely there. And I'm like, damn, Huda, what, you gotta do it again, girl. But it's okay. The concealer and the product itself is so amazing that we can overlook the smell. I basically really like this concealer. I want you to know about it. I think you should try it. Like I said, I'm the shade Granola, which is 18N. So yeah, let me know if you've tried this concealer. I want to know what you guys think. And also let me know if you want me to do any other reviews. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked this one, if you enjoyed it. I feel like it's just been really quick, but I hope I've given you all the information that I can. If I've left anything out, then please do ask away in the comment section below and I will get back to you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos. Follow me on the gram @ArcherMUA, and I'll see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.